Welcome to the series, Jesus Against the Current. Throughout the Gospels, Jesus did something no one expected. While many condemned, he forgave. While many pushed people away, he welcomed them. While many saw only sin, he saw people. His words challenged traditions. His actions broke down barriers, and his love transformed lives. In every episode of this series, we'll explore a true story from the Bible that reveals how Jesus chose a completely different path from what the world expected. And by the end, we'll discover what that story can teach us about our lives today. In today's episode, we're going to meet a man who probably hadn't been touched by anyone for a very long time. A man who carried a disease, but also carried rejection, loneliness, and shame. Until the day he met Jesus. And in that encounter, Jesus did something no one expected. Jesus touched him. Imagine living your life knowing that anyone who came near you had to keep their distance. Imagine not being able to hug your family, not being able to sit beside other people, not being able to freely enter the places everyone else could enter. Imagine having to announce your condition whenever someone came near you. For many people living with leprosy in biblical times, this was their reality. Leprosy wasn't just a physical illness. It also meant isolation. People were separated from their communities and forced to live away from others. It was as if their illness had become their identity. Before anyone asked their name, people saw only their disease. But one day this man heard about Jesus, and he decided to do something that required courage. He came closer. This story is recorded in Matthew 8, Mark 1, and Luke 5. Mark tells us that a man with leprosy came to Jesus. And there's something very important about the way he approached him. He didn't demand anything. He didn't say that he deserved to be healed. He simply came before Jesus and begged him. He said, "If you are willing, you can make me clean." Think about the depth of those words. He believed that Jesus had the power to heal him. His question wasn't whether Jesus could do it. His question was, will he be willing to touch someone like me? Maybe that's a question many people carry in their hearts today. Does God still want me? After everything I've done, will he still accept me? Am I even worthy to come near him? But Jesus' response was completely different from what this man probably expected. The Gospel of Mark tells us that Jesus was moved with compassion. He reached out his hand and touched the man. Jesus touched the leper. Stop for a moment and picture that scene. Everyone probably expected Jesus to keep his distance. But Jesus did exactly the opposite. He came closer. He reached out his hand, and he touched the man. Before we even see the healing, we see something even deeper. Jesus gave this man something society had taken away from him: human touch. Perhaps that was the first touch he had received in a very long time. Then Jesus said, "I am willing. Be clean." And immediately, the leprosy disappeared. The man was healed. But it wasn't only his body that was being restored. His entire life was beginning to change. Here is one of the most powerful lessons in this story. Jesus could have healed that man without touching him. He could have simply spoken a word from a distance. But Jesus chose to touch him. Why? Because Jesus wasn't only interested in the disease, he was interested in the person. To society, this man was someone who needed to be kept away. To Jesus, he was someone who needed to be loved. To many people, he was unclean. To Jesus, he was worthy of compassion. And this is exactly where Jesus went against the current. He refused to let prejudice determine who deserved to be seen. He refused to let rejection determine who deserved to be loved. He didn't look first at the person's condition. He looked at the person. There's another important detail here. When Jesus touched this man, he wasn't only showing compassion. He was also breaking through a barrier. According to the thinking of that time, coming into contact with someone considered unclean could make another person unclean. But when Jesus touched the leper, it wasn't the uncleanness that changed Jesus. It was Jesus' holiness that transformed the man. The disease couldn't overcome Jesus. Rejection couldn't overcome love. Uncleanness couldn't overcome grace. Jesus touched what everyone else was afraid to touch, and what seemed impossible began to change. Maybe you've never had leprosy, but perhaps you know exactly what it feels like to be rejected. Maybe there's a part of your story you try to hide. A mistake, a wound, a painful memory from your past. Something that has made you believe you don't deserve to come close to God. Maybe you've thought, after everything I've been through, God couldn't possibly want me. But this story shows us exactly the opposite. The man didn't have to become perfect before coming to Jesus. He came just as he was, broken, sick, rejected, and Jesus welcomed him. That doesn't mean Jesus ignores the things in our lives that need to change. It means he doesn't require us to be completely healed before he begins to love us. He comes close precisely because we need him. Maybe the world has placed a label on you. Maybe someone told you that you would never make it. Maybe people have remembered your mistakes more than they have noticed your changes. Maybe you're going through a season where you feel invisible. But this man's story reminds us of something powerful. Your condition does not determine your value in God's eyes. Jesus saw this man when everyone else simply wanted him to stay away. And maybe today, Jesus is also calling you out of isolation, calling you to stop believing that you're alone, calling you to trust again, calling you to come closer. The story of the leper isn't only about a disease disappearing. It's about a man who was seen again. It's about someone who found hope again. It's about a person who discovered that his condition was not greater than the power and compassion of Jesus. And maybe this is the message you needed to hear today. Jesus is not afraid of your wounds. He doesn't walk away because you're broken. He doesn't give up because your story is complicated. He doesn't define you only by your past. Jesus is still the one who comes close, the one who reaches out, the one who restores, the one who transforms. Because while the world says, "Stay away," Jesus says, "Come to me." If this message spoke to your heart, leave a comment saying, "Jesus restores my life." Someone reading your comment may also need to hear that message of hope today. Share this video with someone who needs to remember that they are not alone. And if you want to continue discovering the stories of Jesus, the one who continually went against society's expectations to reveal God's love, subscribe to the channel. In the next episode, we'll discover another story where Jesus did something no one expected. Because when everyone else sees limitations, Jesus sees possibilities. May God bless your life. And I'll see you in the next episode of Jesus Against the Current.